Today I am doing my Week 15 NFL predictions. So let's get started. Now the first game is later today at I think 8:20. All right, so it's right there. So it's between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Las Vegas Raiders division matchup. Um, Honestly, I think this will actually be a close game. Uh, the Chargers actually just beat the Falcons, who the Raiders just got absolutely blown out by. So, does that mean something? I'm not sure. The Vegas Raiders have a much better record, and probably a better team too, but they don't really have any wide receivers. But this matchup, uh, Raiders they just play so well against teams in their division. I mean, look out how they play against the Chiefs. They beat them the first time, only lost of their season for the Chiefs, and they almost beat them the second time. So I'm saying the Raiders are gonna win this one. And I thought it didn't circle. Now, for the first time this year, they're going to be two Saturday games. Or for the first time this year, they're going to be Saturday games at all. So I think it would be better if it was Buffalo and Green Bay and then Carolina and Denver. But I guess Carolina just played Denver. So it's the Buffalo Bills versus the Denver Broncos. Uh, Both of these are pretty obvious answers. The Bills just beat the Steelers, who were undefeated 2 weeks before that. So the Steelers they went from undefeated to 0-2 since they lost to the Washington football team. I don't know why I circled Denver. Now Carolina versus Green Bay. That's going to be Green Bay. Green Bay is one of the best teams. Has probably the best wide receiver. Fantastic running back. Just a great team. And they're not going to lose to Carolina. So the Saturday games aren't going to be very good. So if you're hoping for some good games on Saturday, you're going to have to wait for the next Saturday games. Now on to the Sunday games. The first one here is San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Um, the Cowboys still have their backup quarterback. They're not going to have Dak Prescott back for hopefully next year. They'll have him back due to a terrible injury near the beginning of the season playing against the Giants. He was running and he injured his ankle very bad. So this is going to be the 49ers and the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not a good team. They're barely a valid team. If they're playing anybody except for a bottom 5 team in the league, they're not going to win. I think this one's definitely going to San Francisco. Seattle Seahawks versus the Washington football team. Now, the Seahawks previously were defeated by the Giants, not this past week, but the week before. And Washington is in the same division as the Giants. I think they lost to the Giants twice, actually. But you can see how well they're playing. They just beat the 49ers, and a week before that, they beat the Steelers, who were at that time undefeated. So they're definitely a valid team, and probably not a Super Bowl, probably going to be fighting for the Super Bowl in the playoffs. I'm thinking they're probably going to win their division, especially looking at who their division is. But then there's Seattle. Seattle has one of the best quarterbacks. Was the favorite for MVP at the beginning of the season, Russell Wilson. People say that he's a top 3 wide receiver. DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett's a great wide receiver as well. Chris Carson's a great running back. They also have other good running backs. But their problem is the defense. I mean, I think Terry McLaurin and, if he's back, Antonio Gibson are going to just tear that defense up. I actually think it's going to be J.D. McKissic, but still, Seattle has nothing to really stop them. So this is going to be a high-scoring game, I think. But I think it'll come down to Seattle winning. Actually, you know what? I'm going to say Washington's going to get the upset. I think Washington will win this game. All right, next game, the Bears versus the Vikings. This matchup has happened once so far this season where the Vikings were victorious. They're Kirk Cousins' first ever Monday Night Football win. The Bears just came off of one of their best games of the season. Mitch Trubisky actually had his first good game of his career, first career good game. Anyway, Minnesota Vikings are fighting for the playoffs. They really want to make the playoffs. Now, so do the Bears. But the Vikings are probably the better team. They probably have a better chance. But they're fighting against the Cardinals. And the Cardinals either play really well or really bad. I think everybody wants the Cardinals to win the Super Bowl, or at least make it to the Super Bowl. Or I guess if they make it to the Super Bowl, people want them to win. Because Larry Fitzgerald is probably on his last year. He's an absolute legend. He hasn't ever won a Super Bowl, and he stayed with the Cardinals his whole career. He's broken records there when they were good and when they were bad. Usually when they were bad. But anyway, that is not that matchup. This matchup is the Vikings and the Bears, where I think the Vikings are going to win. New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. You would always say the Patriots are going to win, but the Dolphins are having their best season in so long, and they have been destroying teams. They almost beat the Chiefs. At one point, they were up by 10 against the Chiefs. They weren't able to get the victory, though. But New England, Cam Newton is not their guy. Cam Newton is not who they're gonna want to have for He's definitely not their quarterback until he retires. They're gonna want to draft somebody or trade for someone. For the first time in a very long time, Miami is just the better team in this matchup, and I think they're gonna get the win here. Jacksonville Jaguars and the Baltimore Ravens. You don't even have to think about it. This is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. I don't even think I have to explain. Now, Atlanta Falcons versus Tampa Bay. Again, the Atlanta Falcons aren't that good. They'll probably get a lead at halftime and then just blow it. They don't even have to explain it. Detroit Lions versus Tennessee Titans. We got my man Derrick Henry over here going to go crazy against the Detroit defense. Best running back versus the worst running defense. I mean, come on. Houston versus Colts. Didn't this just happen? The Texans versus the Colts. Whatever. That's weird. Anyway, the Texans were close to beating the Colts last time, but I don't think it'll be so close this time. The Colts are just the better team. Texans have not been playing well. Again, not much to say about this game. The Colts are just the better team. I think they're gonna win. Philadelphia Eagles, Arizona Cardinals. Philadelphia Eagles have just switched to their new starting quarterback, Jalen Hurts, and they beat the Saints, one of the best teams in the league. And honestly, Arizona is literally a team that goes good game, bad game, good game, bad game. They had a good game last week. They're going to have a bad game this week, and they're playing Jalen Hurts, who is a great quarterback, at least what he's shown from last week. I'm going to say the Eagles are going to beat the Arizona Cardinals here, which is I never think I'm going to say that, but that's another upset that I'm predicting. The Jets versus the Rams. Now, obviously, I'm going with the Jets. No, I'm not. I'm going with the Rams. Everybody knows that the Jets are going to go win 16 this season unless the Patriots blow it, which they probably will. Anyway, Kansas City versus New Orleans Saints. This is going to be the best game of the week. This is going to be such a close game. It's going to be a great battle. Honestly, I think it'll come down to whoever starts for the Saints at quarterback. If they use Drew Brees, I think they'll win against the Chiefs. If they use Taysom Hill, I think they're going to lose against the Chiefs, and I'm pretty sure they're using Taysom Hill. So, a healthy Drew Brees could probably beat Kansas City, but Taysom Hill can't, I don't think. So, I'm going to give that one to Kansas City. Cleveland Browns versus the New York Giants. The Giants just, honestly, they show a little bit of hope, and then they just play bad. They just play so bad. And the Browns? Okay, what if I told you in 2016 that the Browns were going to make the playoffs and be one of the best teams in the NFL, and the Steelers would be the only one ahead of them? You'd be like, that would be crazy. I mean, even last year, you'd say that's not possible. The Ravens are going to win the division easily. But the Ravens aren't even looking like they're going to make the playoffs this year. The Browns are a great team, and that's crazy. But I mean, good for them. They've been such a bad team for so long, and they're finally finding their I don't even know. They're playing good. Let's say it like that. All right, Pittsburgh versus Cincinnati, the last game, the Monday night game. It's a previously undefeated team versus the Bengals with their backup quarterback. I mean, Pittsburgh's gonna win this one. So yeah, that's gonna be all my predictions. I'm saying Vegas Raiders over the Chargers, Buffalo over Denver, Green Bay over Carolina, San Francisco beating Dallas, Washington, Minnesota, Miami, and Baltimore beating Seattle, Chicago, New England, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay beating Atlanta, Tennessee beating Detroit, Indianapolis beating Houston, Eagles beating the Ravens, or the Cardinals, different bird. The Rams beating the Jets, Kansas City beats New Orleans, Cleveland beats the Giants, and the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Cincinnati Bengals. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, then hit the like button and subscribe for more content kind of like this. Hit the bell so that you get a notification whenever I upload a new video. Do you agree with my predictions? If you do, comment down below in this comment section. That's usually where you would comment. Yeah. If you disagree, then comment down below. Just anything that you want to see me make a video on, or anything that you want to say about football, maybe your predictions for this week, what you think I could have changed. What do you think? What's the most surprising game do you think will happen this week, and what do you think will be the best game? Tell me again down in the comments, like I've been saying. Uh, so that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.